Hey everybody, welcome to the Brainal Podcast. This is episode 38. I'm Jeppy Condyle.
And I am Frozen GFX.
And I'm Good Coffee 273.
And let's get into news because Coffee, I feel like I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Frozen, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was as well. Today, we're talking about Metal Gear, correct?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So Konami, I'm going to try to be as polite as possible.
I'm not.
Konami,
Yeah, good luck with that.
Konami has announced today at Gamescom the latest Metal Gear game called Metal Gear Survive. And I watched the trailer. You guys watch the trailer?
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to pick up right where Metal Gear Solid... Well, actually, I guess where Ground Zeroes left off. And it just seemed like you play as... I don't know if you create your own character or whatever, but you don't play as anyone that at least I've seen before, any established characters from the franchise before. In a survival game against... God, I don't even want to talk about this, to be honest with you.
Crystal alien zombies?
Yeah, with like half heads.
Yeah.
I don't really even think they knew what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Rumor has it they're using like trashed assets from Metal Gear Solid 5 and kind of throw them together. I don't know whether that's true, but I heard it was.
It looks like it.
It looks like they spent $0.
They spent negative dollars.
Well, it really just looks like they took the Fox engine, right? Yeah, just like you said, and hey, let's come up with... I'm trying to have an open mind, but I don't want anything to do with this. I'm trying not to be a hater, but it's very hard right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they turned... It looks like they turned Metal Gear into a zombie apocalypse squad shooter, which is farther away from Metal Gear than pretty much anything I could possibly think of.
Yeah, and I know Metal Gear, at least with, what is it, Revengeance? Is that what it's called? Metal Gear Rising. Yeah, Metal Gear Rising.
Yep.
Definitely broke the mold a little bit, but it was as experimental as Metal Gear has been. This really looks like there's no creativity behind it. Just again, this is judging just based from the trailer, but I don't know. When I watched it, I really didn't. I had anger, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't care. Right?
Part of me just wonders, do they even understand what fans want? Do they check out... Are they really that ignorant? Like, seriously? Like...
Yeah, it's a bit insulting. I took offense to it. I mean, and Coffee, I think you hit it the nail on the head with, taking just leftover crap and putting it into the game. I mean, none of the characters that I saw in the trailer seemed to be any stand out. They just didn't stand out at all. It seemed like normal AI.
Like something you could create in Character Creator on Metal Gear Online or something like that.
Something like that. You know, like just really bland.
No personality.
Yeah, yeah.
Granted, we haven't seen any more, but this made me glad that there was so much publicity behind the whole Konami Kojima, drama, that it is, as far as I understand, clearly well known that Kojima has nothing to do with this. And I feel like I'm hoping a lot of myself. I'm going to take it. I'm just, if this game does turn out to be the way that I'm predicting it will turn out, um, I really do feel like a lot of the true Metal Gear fans will not even remotely consider this as a Metal Gear game.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves the Metal Gear name in that. And if anything, this is like almost like I don't know, it seemed like a Left 4 Dead independent production. It was.
No, this seems like Resident Evil Mercenaries, like that type of.
Oh yeah, true,
going on.
true. Just, it's so bad.
I would have preferred a mobile game almost.
I don't want any more Metal Gear, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like if they had made a mobile game at least, then I would have really known they were, completely sold out. And now I feel like they think they're trying to appease fans, and I feel like they're completely missing the point.
Yeah. Either way, I'm good. Never talking about this game ever again. You guys okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Never gonna mention
it. While we're on the bad news, I've trained. Final Fantasy 15 has been delayed to November 29th.
What's up, Peter?
What's that, Pete?
The reasoning behind this, and I swear I can respect it to a degree, but I swear. Okay, so the director of the game, I think, or somebody, I forgot. Forgive me for that.
Director in the lead.
Yeah, he was going on quoting that they wanted to fine polish the game, and they wanted to essentially avoid a day one patch, which I can respect. I can, but I swear to God, there better not be a patch within the first week or so. If they're gonna make us wait a couple more months, you know what I mean?
Yeah, part of me kind of wants to light all the things on fire, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. It just kind of chalks it up to another developer, delaying the launch because they want to polish up a few things, and I respect it. But it is disappointing, and I know you guys are looking forward to the game. I don't really have that much of an interest to it, but it does suck that it's a 2-month delay.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I can't think of that many games I'm looking forward to this holiday season. So I think, I'm okay with it. It was just more like, man, they keep saying September, and then this happens.
Yeah.
There's just something about when people delay games that big. I felt like they were either being disingenuous for some reason, or why even give us a date in the first place until you come up with an actual date? If you're going to come up with an actual date, especially a little bit over a month out, and now you're going to delay it, I just feel like they're not telling us everything. That's why I'm saying there better not be a patch. Otherwise, I think they're BSing us for some reason or another. But we'll see. Yay, more power to them. If it does come out, no patches, runs right out the bat, that's cool. Apparently, this will not affect the accompanying, movies that are coming out, which is pretty nice. But either way, that's all the bad news I can think of. Before we move on to some pretty cool news, but any of you guys have anything to add to that or any new bad news?
What about Kingsglaive? Have you heard about that at all?
No.
I mean, the movie's out.
No, what's up with that?
That's Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah, that's Final Fantasy 15 movie. It's out now. It's not getting the most stellar reviews at the moment. I think it's sitting at like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that it matters. I kind of want to see it anyway.
Wait, so give us some context. Is it a full-length feature movie or?
It is. It's it's a full-length feature film done with Square Enix type CG, pretty animation, kind of like
Oh, so it's not
Spirits
anime.
Within.
But they
No, it's
released like
like
an anime short movie or something, right? A while
it
back.
was a short. It was a short series.
I still have yet to
But
watch that too.
yeah, yeah. But Kingsglaive, it was in select theaters um, earlier, and no, it's in select theaters nationwide on August 19th. So a couple reviews have trickled in. It seems like people either really like it or really hate it. But yeah, it's 110 minutes long. Um,
Wow.
Sean Bean is in it. So is
Hey.
Aaron Paul. Um,
He's gonna die.
Lena Headey. I don't know who that is.
Oh, so you got two people from Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I
Cersei?
guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cersei. I love Cersei.
She's yes. Oh, I'm not even going to talk about Game of Thrones in fear of spoilers. And the lack of Game of Thrones having anything to do with video games, aside from the Telltale game series, which, you know, neither here nor there.
It is
Anyway,
good, actually. It's pretty
yeah, I did hear it was good, or adequate. But as far as more news, I did hear a new Zelda trailer release that people were pretty excited about.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Okay, I won't go into
avoiding
detail.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Frozen?
I don't have much. I mean, you covered two of the main things I was going to talk about, but one of the things that I saw today was the Xbox Scorpio details. You guys
What's
seen?
that? No.
So, the Project Scorpio, they released some of the kind of the specs and a bit of a price point, and I guess an estimated time of release for the Scorpio. Looks like it's going to be set out in 2017, around the holiday season, which I think is a good idea for them to do. They're really pumping up the capabilities of this Scorpio project with all the hardware. And, you know, the little video that I saw about it, they were really talking a lot about just the processing power, the video capabilities, the native 4K resolution, the ability to show uncompressed pixels, just really, really hyping up how amazing they think it's going to look. But then the other aspect of it is I learned, you know, they're not going to have, and I think we learned about this earlier in E3, but they're not going to have exclusive games for it, except for possibly some VR titles that'll be exclusive to the Scorpio project. So it'd be interesting to see when it comes out what the.
Oh, sorry. You mean exclusive as opposed to the normal Xbox One?
Yes, that's
Oh,
correct.
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see when it does release, if it's going to live up to the hype that they're projecting. Because, I mean, just by looking at some of the specs and some of the details of that, it seems like it's going to be a huge powerhouse of just graphics. But then again, how that's going to transition to consumer markets with different TVs and things, you know, it'd be interesting to see how that does.
Well, the Neo is coming out this year, so they'll have a good year to see how that does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely they're going for VR. I remember they did say that in E3. I don't know what's going with the HoloLens. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think there was any talk about that, but one thing to note, they did mention that oh man, I could be quoting this wrong, but it was the peripherals and the accessories will be interchangeable across the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and Project Scorpio. So I thought that was pretty nice to hear that they're not going to section it out and have any proprietary things that are not compatible with each other.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see. A couple things that I saw that It's pretty big. So Gamescom's going on right now. Destiny had a lot of news come out that were very PvP focused. Big news is that Destiny's finally allowing private matches for Crucible, which is pretty dope. So you can pretty much do any of the game types you wanted on any of the maps since launch, which is pretty cool. And this is coming out with the Rise of Iron expansion. I forgot where I heard it, but there's something to the tune of around 30 plus maps you can choose from, which is pretty cool, including the new ones coming out for Rise of Iron. But for any of you unfamiliar, the PvP mode of Destiny throughout the different seasons or expansions, they always rotate particular maps. Some have stayed since launch, but some have not been back in rotation. Excuse me. So they don't usually keep more than a handful around at a time, but having access to all of them at once is pretty cool. That's going to be cool. They introduced a new PvP mode called, I think it's called Supremacy, which is more like kill confirmed, where you kill somebody, you have to take their, I don't know if it's their ghost or whatever, but it'd be like the dog tags from Modern Warfare 3. Frozen, was it Modern Warfare 2 or 3 that had kill confirmed? I forgot. 3? 2?
Oh, I think it started in 2. I think.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know, Frozen, what are your thoughts on that? Private matches.
Yeah, the private matches itself, I think, is going to be great, and it's going to give us an opportunity to really kind of hold. And I'm talking to you and me now, because we've been playing some different modes that have been challenging on Crucible. I think it's going to give us an opportunity to kind of hone our skills, and eventually try to make it to the damn lighthouse.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, okay, and then something else is a new feature or features that have been um, shared in the latest PlayStation 4 or the upcoming, actually, PlayStation 4 update firmware 4.00 is the idea that the UI in general is going to be way more streamlined. And the two that they seem to have mentioned the most are when you go to when you guys hold the PlayStation button down, you get that quick menu.
Yep.
This will not take up the whole screen. So apparently, this will not interrupt your gameplay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it will just show up a very short, I guess, more organized menu. I don't know if it's gonna be top or bottom. And they're also doing that with the share screen as well, which is pretty dope.
That is nice.
Yeah, and there was a quote from, I don't know who it was, but one of the developers or the people behind it, the update, saying that it's going to be very familiar UI, but also it's going to feel like a fresh coat of paint, which would be nice. I have noticed. I hope they're able to streamline, I guess, the efficiency of the firmware, because I've noticed sometimes switching from menus to certain menus is still fast. I mean, compared to last gen consoles, but sometimes I notice a little lag, or if they can streamline that too, that would be pretty cool. But I always appreciate new firmware updates. Ever since the 360 went from blades to the panels, that was so cool.
Yeah,
And it
that
was
was
so cool
great.
that, huh?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was about to say that was a great transition.
Yeah, and I remember that was the first time I felt, man, I have the same system, but it kind of feels new, which is pretty nice, and I'm glad they don't charge for that. I don't remember the PS3 going through major overhauls in their UI. Do you remember any of that, Coffee? It was a typical cross media bar, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I know they had like underlying changes, but nothing too visual. But
No.
so it should be coming out, I guess, in the upcoming months. If you are in the public beta, apparently you'll be contacted as to get instructions as far as how to update and test it out. But either way, that was all the news that I thought was worth mentioning. And if you guys are cool with that, I say we get on some games we've been playing. How you guys feel about that?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, Bound. That game, I'm so glad. I don't even know if I want to like capture the rest for the YouTube channel, because I just want to experience that. that game is just gorgeous. We posted part one of the gameplay yesterday, I believe, and that game. First off, I did say in there, but that she is my waifu. I'm assuming she is of age, but she's my waifu.
I don't know, man.
Good, none of us know.
She's my waifu.
Oh.
I'm so close to just kicking you out of everything.
Shut it down.
Yeah, take him down. That game's just beautiful. It seems to be cut from the same cloth as Journey, has the same impact. Not at all related developer-wise, but that game is so gorgeous, and I really can't wait to experience that in VR. But aside from that, that game is just so incredible, so inventive, so creative, so graceful, and I'm just so blown away by that game. But
almost like, actual ballet dancing, right?
it looked. I mean, I'm not a ballet expert, but that looked like they put a lot of care into bringing those moves to life, and my God, that game is just.
How do you like the story so far? No spoilers.
The story is the way the game starts out. Again, I'm gonna be as cryptic as possible. Really does feel like there's a lot more to this. It's a big metaphor for something because the game does not start off in that abstract world, and I feel like the more we get into this, the more I get into the game, I'm going to appreciate it more and more and more. If the game were just cosmetically, just superficial as far as, you're the girl, you do the dancing, you travel, you explore, that'd be cool. But the fact that everything has a meaning behind it is pretty freaking exciting. The developers, Plastic Games, they did. What is that game? I keep forgetting to look it up. It's not Bound by Sleep, or it's something Dreams, or Leap of Dreams, something for the PS3. I forgot what it was. It's gonna piss me off. I'm not remembering.
Leaps and Bounds.
It was
Leaps and Bounds.
It was I don't know, but it was more of an experience game where you essentially were watching a three-dimensional movie that's very abstract, and you can fast forward, rewind, find little clues here and there. It was one of the very first games I ever got when I got my PS3. I just remember a big dog. I forgot what type of dog it is, but just a big dog flying through the city. And it was really crazy. And it was cool that this is from the same people, but this seems like more of a legit game. But this one's crazy. I'm glad I saw that trailer because I didn't really hear anything of it earlier. But this is definitely one of my top picks of the year. So, what about you guys?
I actually haven't played Bound yet. I do want to check it out. And sorry, you go ahead first, Frozen. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to start talking about a different game, but
no, that's what. Sorry, that's what I was asking. As far as different games.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the last time that we got together in the podcast, we talked about No Man's Sky and how I did not receive it yet. All that has changed now. I finally got my copy, and I'm absolutely in love with this game from the get-go, from the jump off. It is everything. I'm so glad you
finally got it, man.
Yeah, it is everything that I have ever wanted this game to be. And I know that goes against the grain right now of a lot of people's opinion based on, from what I gather, a lot of people have been saying that it's been a failure as far as its launch. Really kind of failing on some of the promises that were given early on. But you know what? For my own sake, because I didn't feed into that hype, I have no disappointment in this game. It is so relaxing, so amazing to just play through, just sit down and just explore. That is my main mission in this game, just to explore and find things. I'm not looking for a first-person shooting space war game. I'm looking to just explore, and this is exactly what it is. I'm loving this game.
Yeah, me too, man. So you see what I was trying to say as far as there's nothing really to worry about on your part?
Yeah, definitely. So massive that I went into a different system, so galaxy, and I had trouble finding my own home planet, but I was able to get back after like 30 some odd minutes trying to find it, but I got back and yeah.
You guys are making me curious about this game. I don't know if I plan on like going out and like buying the thing, but I think it'd be something I'd enjoy trying.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, you know how all games go. It's going to get cheaper in the future. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's definitely worth it, especially if you. How can I say it? I don't know. I can't speak too much because I don't know what's at the center of the galaxy just yet. Um, yeah, this is playing. This really feels like I am. Really feels like a personal Star Trek, where you are just like Frozen was saying, you're exploring. This is as sci-fi as it gets. Um, Meeting new races, new aliens, discovering things, learning words and languages, and I didn't realize there was so much. See, what my impression from the trailers was there's just existing planets, and there's some space wars, and it's just have fun, explore whatever. And the engine behind it was very impressive. And the engine still impresses me. I still can't believe they're able to freaking do this with one game. And from what I understand, the game's only a few gigs, right? Which is crazy. But the idea is, I feel the fact that there seems to be, at least from my perspective right now, lore behind it, and there is a story of something. And whenever I come across one of these, little shrines or whatever of this being, like it starts to get philosophical, which is pretty cool. But who knows? Who knows? I just know this game is not gonna. It's still a lot for me to wrap my mind around, and I personally cannot spend hours and hours and hours at a time in this game because I feel like I would be rushing it because this does seem like a game that you should just go at your own pace, enjoy it the way you want. But at the same time, I really don't know if there you. I think you really can play this game for the rest of your life, right? And you'll
yeah, I don't.
always find something new.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be an end result, an end game to this. And yeah, it'll give you suggested things to do, but obviously, you have complete control over your entire gameplay. Um, and yeah, going from what you were just saying, feeling like you got to go at your own pace. It definitely quiets things down, so to speak, when you get your little hints to do something. You're like, okay, I got to get all the materials and get all the stuff to do this. But you know what? I don't have to do that. I could just take my time and go down here and see what the hell's over that mountain or what's over that hill or hey, I learned a new word or something like that. So,
Yeah, kind of. That game is obtuse as Dark Souls is, or I would say maybe more Demon Souls, as far as how the original game, where there's just so much depth to this. But I really do feel like kind of how Demon Souls was to begin with, that this game may have been a victim of just being misunderstood. But I think this game is going to become minimally a cult classic, but also to the point where the longer this goes, I think people will appreciate this game more and more. Because I'm telling you, once you play this game to begin with, no other game has ever been made that's even remotely close to this, which alone is groundbreaking. And then on top of that, this memories are going to happen in this game. So far, memories have happened in this game that I'll never forget. And I know when we look back on this generation of consoles, this is going to be one of in my personal opinion, one of my favorite games that I played, and one of the most original games, one of the most atmospheric games. Um, yeah, I really love the game for what it is.
yeah, it almost feels like this is going to sound so corny, but it just feels like this game has so many advanced features in it that are done such in a subtle manner that you can just kind of gloss over it if you're not paying attention to it. And I can really see little aspects of this game starting to show up in games to come in the future. Like it seems like this may have been um, like like the start of a turning point for some common, uh, features in a game or common themes within games to come. To come. That's just the way that I feel.
Yeah. But I'm glad you finally got it.
Yeah, me too.
Coffee. We think you were thinking of a game, right?
That I've been playing.
Yeah.
I haven't really been playing anything new to my knowledge.
Okay. One game that I think I forgot to mention last week. I can't believe I forgot this. That I played was episode 1 of the Batman Telltale game. I don't think I mentioned that, but I beat the first episode, and it is very very cool playing as Bruce Wayne and being put in certain encounters with. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to be very in case if you guys want to play it or anyone out there wants to play it. You play is actually, at least for the first episode, you play a significant portion as Bruce Wayne, and the choices you make there, like classic Telltale games, is pretty interesting. But the effects of that, it's a Telltale game, but they did it well, and I really like it so far. And that's all I'm going to say about it because I don't. Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way: this was the first Telltale game that once I played, I just went through the whole first episode within a couple days. Usually, it takes me like a good while to go through an episode, but it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
On point.
Yeah. We've been playing a lot of Destiny. Man, what else? We played Overwatch.
Yeah, I've been playing Overwatch.
Yeah. But outside of that, I can't. Man, am I missing something?
Have you played any more Abzu?
No, I have not, because of Destiny and Bound.
Yeah.
And Overwatch. We haven't even been playing Street Fighter. It's crazy. I got to get back.
Yeah,
on that.
we haven't jumped on it in a while. I'm hoping it'll reset your.
That's why I think you're avoiding playing. I really no. I'm not even joking. I straight up think every time you say, "Hey, let's do some Destiny," I feel like he wants me to go rusty. He wants me to go rusty. It's not going to happen.
So actually, no. Now that I think about it, I was playing another game. It's a game I played before, but I hadn't touched in a long time.
Go for it.
It's called Azure Striker Gunvolt.
The original one that came out like last year?
Yeah. Gotcha. It actually came out in 2014, I think.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah. Just because I guess there's a sequel coming out and at the end of this month, so I wanted to play through the original before it came out.
That's cool.
Because I really enjoyed the first one, and I feel like it does the Mega Man, that Mega Man itch. It really hits that for me.
That's right, because the original came out around the time Mighty Number 9 was announced, right? Because I remember I was confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, how quickly are people not talking about Mighty Number 9 now?
For good reason.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Wait, just for the record, I have not played it personally, but from... Yeah, I've seen a lot of people looking forward to it and get disappointed by it, which is sad. But KG, what are you doing, man? One at a time, man. One at a time.
Yeah, I agree.
Dang, I was just thinking of something. Dang, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I know once I'm done recording this, I'm going to remember what I was playing, but I can't think of anything else. We're going to keep talking. Hopefully I can remember. I can't. That's pretty much it on my end. That being said, I mean, it's funny because Gamescom is just starting, and I'm pretty sure after this we're going to have a lot more news coming out. But it's just the way the time we're recording this, there's not too much going on. that me personally I feel like was worth talking about. Again, is there anything else anybody else wants to add?
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
Little thing, Bethesda was quoted as mentioning that they're looking at possibly making games for the NX in the future.
Oh, I did see
Really?
that.
I never.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they've. I don't think they've ever done a like a Wii U game or anything like that.
I don't
Uh,
remember any first party Bethesda game on at least on the last couple generations. I don't know
yeah.
as far as their early games, but
So that's got me questioning what really is the capability of the NX. If such a, I mean, again, you think of Bethesda and you think of Fallout, you think of Elder Scrolls,
mm-hmm.
and there's really no talk about if those games are going to be ported over. Again, they were just quoted just simply saying that they're looking at possibly making games. But if they were to do that, that I think that really says something about the possibility of the NX hardware to be able to support those type of games if it's true. But it could be maybe they're shifting focus to a different type of development for games, and who knows? Who knows if that's going to happen? But for right now, it's just a rumor.
You know what? That reminds me. A thought came across my mind about the NX where it didn't occur to me as we were recording. You guys remember when we were talking about the rumors a few weeks back? I had my concerns about them locking themselves out of more third party support, right?
Mm-hmm.
It going that way.
Yeah.
But then but then I completely forgot that yes, on the Wii U there's not much third party support, but I completely forgot that on a 3DS there's a crap ton, you know. And I'm curious to see on which side of the coin the NX is going to fit as far as being very easy to develop for and that would attract third parties or not. So when I thought about that, I'm like, or I was thinking, I think I was being unfair just predicting it would go the Wii U route. I really hope it doesn't, but yeah, we'll see. But that's cool. A Bethesda game. I'm curious.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah. I just want to be a little clarification. I did look up the other game that I played that Plastic did for PS3. It's called Linger in Shadows. That's what it is.
I've heard of that game.
Yeah, it's a bizarre game. Yeah, it's crazy. And the best part is I love the idea that, from what I understand, at least the VR part or version of Bound, I don't have to pay extra for. It's just part of, what I bought, which is kind of nice. That being said, I mean, outside of that, I'm ready for question of the week.
Let's do it.
All right, question of the week is: I want you both to give me your personal answer to this question. Why do you play video games?
This question.
That question though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, at least for me, I can't speak for coffee. There's not just one reason. The reasons have definitely changed.
Well, yeah, I mean, talk about however many reasons you can think of.
Okay, yeah,
that
I'll
you
tell
would
you.
want to share.
Some of the big reasons I'm thinking right off the bat. The first one that comes to mind, at least with games like Destiny and today's day and age and growing up and, the internet, is mainly to keep up with you, Frozen, right? At least coffee I get to see almost on a daily basis or weekly basis in person. I don't really get to see you that often, so it's cool that we get to. The social aspect is pretty nice. Plus, I don't like to talk on phones anymore. It's so hilarious. I prefer texting, The only people I really talk to on the phone are my parents. That's just the way I like it. Um, but the amount of time I spend chatting with people as I play games with them online, kind of, a lot of people criticize, not me specifically, but oh, kids today don't, they don't appreciate good, talking on the phone. Well, I mean, we kind of do that playing games, even though we're partially distracted. But so there's a social aspect of it for me. Coffee, do you feel that way?
Yes, the social aspect, absolutely. I definitely play games to keep connected to old friends. I've actually done that for quite some time, and there's actually been times when I've actually made friends, lifelong friends, at least so far, that I've met through playing various games, and even ones that I've come to know and met up with in real life. So um, it's been a social aspect for me. Also, games for me has always been just kind of about the art and story and music. It's for me, it's like reading a really good book, except more so. I know some games aren't always like that, but the ones that really affect me the most are the ones that tell a good story, have beautiful music, and I could really appreciate the art and time and effort that goes into creating the character's story and animation, all that stuff. So, yeah, it's just, I mean, for example, Journey, stuff like that. Um, yeah.
Very cool. I think for me, I do share the common reason, just to keep up with friends and really, Jeppy, just keeping up with you. A lot of my other friends that have had her, either on a different, like on Xbox or something. But my the social aspect of it is not something that I always gravitate towards unless it's somebody I know very, very well. Um, I think it's just the type of gamer that I am that I really kind of appreciate games that are have a solo nature to it, which is why I love No Man's Sky. I guess one of the reasons. Um, but it's a way of experiencing um, a level of entertainment within an art form that you have some control over. It's I used to make jokes like playing video games is like being in control of a movie, where you're playing through the movie or you're acting out the movie. And I think that still holds true for me. And I'm not always the one to jump on the newest, greatest thing. I think there's always some part of me that's skeptical about whatever the newest hotness is. But when I naturally get to it, it's just a relaxing, fun experience that I find it a lot of times to be difficult to explain to other people. Um, but there's always the sense of just relaxation for me and just having fun with it.
Unless you're playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, yeah, or anything horror related. Uh,
Yeah,
so
there is a fantasy element and escapism for me.
Oh,
I think for
absolutely.
most, but yeah, I like survival horror games because I like being scared. I like the mysterious nature of you know those types of games. Then you play things like Ace Attorney and love the humor of that and the characters behind that. And then you'll get to like very I'll play certain games for the sole reason, again, like The Witness, of trying to understand Jonathan Blow, like the developer. I think he's so fascinating. Where this person is, if you play a game like that, or like Bound, or Journey, or whatever, you can tell, you can definitely, and even No Man's Sky to some extent, you can tell what are passion projects and what are cash in, games, and just like any medium out there. Um, you know, it's not just a blanket statement. There are games that I hate. There are games that I really don't like. We talked about one today we'll never mention again. But then there are games that pertain to each of us particularly. But one thing I'll tell you is I don't play games to kill time. I don't play games because I'm bored. I try to actively seek out games that I think will either challenge me, transform me to a place I know I'll never, experience personally. That's why I'm so excited for virtual reality, or games that just the stories we can get into with, again, like, doing, again, like I mentioned last week, like raids in Destiny. Yeah, you're with some other people trying to do this thing and work together as a team and save the galaxy, stuff like that. Yeah, of course it's fantasy, but
is it?
Yes, it's fantasy, and
Okay.
it's cool. And then there a big thing I think for us, because we're all that age and we're that generation, we're riding the wave. I am fairly confident saying that to some extent, all of us will be playing video games for the rest of our lives. Something we would love to share with our children, and it's an interesting mixture of nostalgia with excitement for the future. I mean, we're all tech heads to some degree, and it's just part of our nature and our culture. It doesn't mean we don't like other forms of media, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, that's what it is for me.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it.
Oh, and one more thing. I like to also put people in their place, specifically Frozen.
Yeah.
So another thing that I like to do with video games is deal justice and karma. And I will not get
Karmic
rusty.
justice.
Just justicial karma. So justicey.
No objection.
Yes. Yes.
On a completely different topic, just now got a notification that my X-Men game is being shipped. So last week, Coffee, I don't know if you know this.
I told him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to be working on a new series for YouTube. Did we decide that that name?
I think Who's to Blame is...
Yeah, Who's to Blame?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brainal, Who's to Blame? We're going to play games from our childhood that we didn't quite understand and thought maybe it sucked, but we're going to give it another shot to see if it was us or if it was actually the game that was bad. So my first game is going to be the Uncanny X-Men on the NES, which I got to be honest with you, I am not looking forward to playing this game because this game's memory has haunted me. What do you mean? How
are you going to play? How are you going to capture it? I'm curious.
I do have an old capture card with the analog.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to use that. It's going to be the resolution of a baked potato, but at least I'll get
That's
some.
pretty good resolution right there, dude.
Yeah. Sour cream. Even.
I got Ninja Turtles in the mail a couple days ago. I'm probably going to work on that later, but this weekend's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I also got to I got to continue working on the Urian video because I'm assuming the next couple of weeks he's going to be released. And
drop that Urian.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very scared of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I'm nervous to play this game, man, because
I might find out I'm stupid.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
well, but we already know that.
That was nice. That was nice and original.
Yeah. I thought about that for about 0.5 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
Before it exploded out of my crevice. What?
Oh. We're starting to go downhill, Jeffrey. Why don't you close that out?
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Brainal Podcast this week. Again, we record every Wednesday night, and I'm going to stop this right now. So take care. Peace.
Bye.